All right, and we are back. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of showcase where I've taken the Dragon Rulers right now. I've been climbing on the lower side of the rank ladder, so you're not about to see any super duper high level play that I'm going against. But the main thing is just trying to make sure that the deck, functions, because that is a pretty important deal. So I have a replay for you where it kind of showcases how I use the deck in this format. I think this is probably the current best version that you're going to be able to get out of the deck. Um, and it's mainly a synchro build, mostly using Dragunity Gusamir, as I mentioned before in another video. I think this is probably the best tuner that you can have in the deck because its normal summon is actually useful. It does require a little bit of setup, but technically the setup for it is any normal Dragon Ruler setup. You're just trying to put like another level 4 lower wind monster in graveyard, and you can put another copy of itself or the Wind Baby Dragon Ruler in the graveyard, and you get a special summon off of it. So it's by far the best normal summon, and it really opens up your level 10 plays. So this will kind of showcase all of the different variants of what this deck is capable of doing. And see here, even though I already had the Gusamir, this is what I mean by like that's the setup. It's just natural in there because now when I normal summon it, I get to bring that back out, and then I can now make my Baron de Floor for my negate before any Nibiru hits. And then with this, just get some follow-ups for the next turn. And make Seal Pass. So this is a very typical first turn. Like majority of your hands can make something like this happen. When it comes to if you're playing turn 1, you're pretty much just going into your Synchro and Link, with your other Link option being Dragunity Knight. I'm only playing one Dragon Ravine because the deck doesn't really need it all that much. And then as you can see with the XYZs, these are pretty much just all meant for going second because the rank 7s for going first are pretty much just the Aurora Dawn combos, and we're not here trying to do all that. Our opponent right now is on Sword Soul, and they opened pretty well, but I think they just kind of misplayed because they really could have done so much more. But as I'm just letting them do all of this because I'm like, none of this is any interactions. This is the most important card that I have to watch out for, and they didn't bait me out in any other way. And then I had to make sure that they couldn't normal summon the Taya. And I just put that on the field just to have a body on the field. But I'm like, why didn't you do this before? Like you could have been caused that interaction, but it's kind of whatever. And so here is where just kind of having a little bit of knowledge of what your opponent is playing kind of comes in handy. So I already know, without even having to know, that is a oh crap, now I forgot the name of it. Blackout. That's a blackout. Definitively, that's a blackout. Nobody can tell me otherwise. So I'm going to make a play, assuming that. Never punish. We just draw what we need. 2 cards in the field, and now we're blacked out. And now that we can attack, and game on board. So it's like a good mixture of Synchro, XYZ, and all that other stuff. I haven't done any duels on this account. I've been mainly playing on like my second account, but I did go ahead and recreate what that deck looks like here. Obviously, I'm not playing on here because I don't have this card already in here, but this is what I've been playing and having a good bit of success with. Um, and it's very interesting. I forgot this deck even had grass and Return of the Dragon Lord because I've literally never drawn them, never drawn them in any of my duels. But the deck does have it, and I do still think that they're good cards. Obviously, grass is great when you're trying to send every card in your deck to the graveyard because everything here outside of this card works well in your graveyard. Um, and of course your side frame gamma. But you have this in because most of your opening plays, you're like, I send this and another dragon to special the Tempest, and then they're like, here comes an Ash, and then you can hit them with gamma. I had two openers like that where I had all this gas, but had to play through Ash, and then another hand trap, and then another banish, and it was just too many interactions. It was like five, and then I ended up just losing. But you can play through a lot even without having this, just because the deck just naturally keeps pushing cards into the graveyard. So like every big ruler and every little ruler is multiple extenders in itself. Um, but I think you do need this. I think this is very crucial. I think having this is also pretty nice. This is a level one wind tuner dragon. It combos well with this, so you can special summon it all out of the graveyard. And these two Dragunity cards don't lock you into Dragunity, so you could still play any other cards that you want. I know having shooting Majestic Dragon here may look a little trolly, but there are routes where you can go into Psychic and Punisher pretty easily, and then make your Crimson Dragon to then target it to then bring out your Shooting Majestic Dragon. If there was one card I would cut, it would actually be this card. I have not played this card. I just have not played it. I would cut this before I would cut this, but I would cut both if there was two other cards that were really, really just more impactful to have. I was originally running Borolo Savage Dragon, but I realized that like I was never in a situation where I had any of my Link monsters in the graveyard by the time I would summon them on turn one. So I said, screw it, I don't need it, and I dropped it. And then instead just put in the Cell Synchro Dragon. So if I do Gamma, I can go straight into Barone um, immediately. So this is kind of what I've been playing with right now. I'm still going to continue to tweak it, but this has been really strong. The one Dragunity Glow is still here because there's funny interactions where if you do have it in your graveyard with your Gram and you take your opponent's monster, you can then special summon that monster. And I have actually synchro summoned into Crimson Dragon with it by taking their monster, and I just kind of popped off from there. So it is a very funny interaction just because you can come across so many different decks on the ladder. So I would still say just keep the card in there, just at one. It just basically names another Gram for you, and if you do happen to draw it after you've already gotten your Gram, it just adds it back from the graveyard, which then you can use to pitch it back with anything else. So it's basically just another Dragunity Armor Gram. It's like the second half of it. Um, but thanks for watching. I'll have some more replays. My schedule has changed, so I'm gonna actually start trying to stream in the evening, but it's gonna be after I come back from the gym. So I'm still just kind of working out that part. But yeah, I'm going to start trying to stream again. And I do plan on doing a lot of Dragon Ruler streaming for you guys. So do appreciate you guys for still watching and hanging in there with me. Bam Maxi, and have a great day.